Hello, boys and girls. I know I look really excited, but I'm just so excited to do these videos for you. And I'm excited that you're watching my videos. So thank you for watching my videos. I miss reading to you guys. I miss reading so much. And I can't wait to see you when we go back to school. So, in the meantime, right now what I'm doing is I'm reading to you through a video. So, please watch my videos so you can see these awesome read out louds. Okay, so let's get started. So Monday, I read chapters 1 and 2. Tuesday, I read chapters 3 and 4. Today is Wednesday, and I'm reading chapters 5 and 6. So we are going to continue reading Miss Clute is a Hoot. Now remember, is Miss Clute a person? No, Miss Clute is a dog. She is a therapy dog. Okay, so we last left off where Miss Clute had just walked into class because it was it Andrea's birthday, Emily's birthday? It was someone's birthday. And they were going to read a story. Oh, and she closed the book. It was called The Fuzzy Little Bunny. Okay, chapter 5. Here we go. Mr. Mackey told us to be on our best behavior while he was in the teacher's lounge. So as soon as he left the room, Alexia, Ryan, and I got up and we shook our butts to the class. Woohoo! Shouted Ryan. The grown-ups are gone. The grown-ups are gone. Yeah. We can do anything we want, said Alexia. This is the greatest day of my life, I yelled. Andrea and Emily were just rolling their eyes and making mean faces at us. Miss Clute is a grown-up, you know, Andrea said. She's 4 years old, and that's 32 years in dog years. Yes, said Emily. Miss Clute hears every word you're saying. Maybe she'll report back to Mr. Mackey and you'll get in big trouble. What's she going to tell him? I asked. Wow, wow, woof, woof, bow, wow. Miss Clute was staring at us the whole time. It looked like she was really listening to our conversation. I guess we better start reading, Ryan said, just in case. So Alexia, Ryan, and I went back to the corner and sat on the rug. Emily started to read from The Fuzzy Little Bunny. Here it goes. Ready? So this is from The Fuzzy Little Bunny story. It says, "It was a lovely summer day," she read, "and the fuzzy little bunny went hip-hop, hopping down the road. It was Monday. And that meant her mommy was going to cook up a big pot of blah 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 blah. The Fuzzy Little Bunny was the most boring book in the history of the world. I thought I might die from old age before the story was done. Miss Clute rested her head on Emily's lap and she closed her eyes. She looks bored out of her mind, said Neil, the nude kid. Maybe Miss Clute doesn't like the Fuzzy Little Bunny, said Alexia. Well, I can't blame her, Ryan said. That story is lame. I might fall asleep myself, said Michael. I've heard the story before, and the only thing that happens is that the Fuzzy Little Bunny gets to eat a carrot at the end. Big deal. What a snooze fest, I said. I like the story of the Fuzzy Little Bunny, said Andrea. Me too, said Emily, who agrees with everything that Andrea says. That's when I came up with the greatest idea in the history of the world. It's my turn to read, I said, taking the book away from Emily. I flipped to the next page and I started to read. Well, I pretended to read anyway. After that, I said, the Fuzzy Little Bunny went to the skate shop and bought a rocket-powered anti-gravity skateboard with dual torpedoes on each side. It was awesome, and the Fuzzy Little Bunny had always dreamed about jumping a skateboard over the Grand Canyon. That's not what it says, Arlo, said Andrea. You just made all of that up. Well, so what? I said. Miss Clute won't know the difference. She's a dog. Maybe she'll like the story better this way anyway. I passed the book over to Ryan, and then he began to read. So the Fuzzy Little Bunny got on her rocket skateboard and started to jump over the Grand Canyon. But little did she know that on the other side of the Grand Canyon, a fuzzy little kitten was taking off on a rocket skateboard at the very same time. Hey, This story was getting cool. I looked over at Miss Clute, and she was just sitting there listening like always. So then Ryan passed over the book to Michael, and then he began to read. So the fuzzy little bunny and the fuzzy little kitten realized that they were going to crash into each other over the Grand Canyon. So they both turned on their laser beams and they started shooting at each other. Bam, 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 bam. Wow, I couldn't wait to find out what happened next. This was the most exciting story in the history of the world. Andrea rolled her eyes. Miss Clute, she just sat there listening. So then Michael, he passed the book over to Alexia, and she began to read. And then the fuzzy little bunny caught on fire. She was falling into the Grand Canyon, and it looked like it was all over her. Unless what? Asked Alexia. Did the fuzzy little bunny, did the fuzzy little kitten rescue the fuzzy little bunny? Miss Clute just sat there. She didn't seem to care a bit about what happened to the fuzzy little bunny. Alexia passed the book over to Neil, the newt kid, and then he began to read. And then aliens came over from outer space, said Neil. They had 4 eyeballs and 6 noses and laser cannons instead of arms. Laser cannons are cool, I shouted. Miss Clute, she just sat there. If aliens shooting laser cannons doesn't get you excited, I guess nothing gets you excited. What happens next? We all begged Neil. Yeah, what happened next? Said Alexia. Neil didn't seem to know what happened next. He thought about it for a minute. And then the earth exploded and everybody died. The end, he said. Neil closed the fuzzy little bunny book. Miss Clute just sat there. You can't say the earth exploded and everyone died, Andrea shouted. It's a book for children. So what? I shouted back to Andrea. You can say whatever you want. Cannot, she shouted back. We could have gone on like that for a while, but Mr. Granite and Mr. Mackey, they came back to class. So, how are the kids making out with the fuzzy little bunny? Mr. Granite asked. Ew, gross, everyone shouted. We're not making out with the fuzzy little bunny. Well, did you like the story? Asked Mr. Mackey. Oh, yeah, we all shouted. The fuzzy little bunny's awesome, said Alexia. What was your favorite part? Asked Mr. Mackey. Everybody raised their hands, except for me, of course. So naturally, Mr. Mackey called on me. I liked the part when they turned on their laser beams and they started shooting at each other, I said. Yeah, that was cool, agreed Ryan. Said Mr. Mackey, opening the fuzzy little bunny book and looking through the pages. I don't seem to remember that part. That's the end of chapter 5. What happens? I want to know what happens. Oh, yes, let's go to chapter 6. Okay, chapter 6, it's called My Brilliant Idea. It says, every day, Miss Clute has to do lunch duty. That means that she walks around the vomitorium looking for scraps that fell on the floor so she can eat them. Miss Clute is like a vacuum cleaner for food. She'll even eat stuff that Ryan won't eat. Sometimes kids drop their lunch on purpose just to watch Miss Clute run over to scoop it up. Where do you think Mr. Mackey got a therapy dog? Asked Michael. From Rent a Therapy Dog, I told him. You can rent anything. On Emily's birthday, it was hot dog day in the vomitorium, and me and the gang were eating lunch and minding your own business when Little Miss Perfect and their crybaby birthday girl sat down at our table with their trays. Emily went to get a mustard packet, and in that second or two, the most amazing thing in the history of the world happened. Miss Clute grabbed the hot dog off of the plate. Hey, where did my hot dog go? Emily said when she got back to the table. Then we saw Miss Clute walking in the other direction with the hot dog sticking out of her mouth. It was hilarious. Miss Clute stole my hot dog, Emily shouted, and it's my birthday? We've got something to do. Then she started crying, and she ran out of the vomitorium. Sheesh! Get a grip. What a crybaby. After we all stopped laughing, I noticed that Andrea, she had on her worried face. Don't worry, I told her. Emily will get another hot dog. That's not what I'm worried about, Andrea said. I'm concerned about Miss Clute. Well, what about her? Asked Michael. Well, whenever we have reading time, she just lies there. So what? Said Alexia. Maybe she's tired. Why should she be tired? Asked Ryan. All she does is eat and listen to kids read out loud all day. She seems so sad, said Andrea, and she's got a hand dog look on her face. A hang dog. She's a dog, I said. She's supposed to have a hang dog look on her face. My mother is a psychologist, Andrea said, and she told me that Miss Clute has all the classic signs of depression. What? Neil said. Dogs don't get depressed. How do you know? Andrea replied. Maybe dogs are just like people, but with paw and fur. Are you saying that our therapy dog needs therapy? Asked Alexia. Well, she might, Alexia replied. I think we should try to cheer her up. Maybe Andrea was right. Miss Clute did look kind of sad most of the time, and after lunch, we decided to skip recess and go to Mr. Mackey's office instead. Miss Clute was sitting there in the floor, looking sad as usual. What can I do for you kids? Mr. Mackey asked us. Can we be alone with Miss Clute for a few minutes? Asked Andrea. Well, how come? Asked Mr. Mackey. We have to tell her something, we explained. It's personal. Please. Oh, okay, I guess, Mr. Mackey said. I'll be in the teacher's lounge. Okay, what are we going to do to cheer Miss Clute up? Ryan asked after Mr. Mackey left. Well, we could tell her jokes, suggested Alexia. You know lots of them, AJ. Go ahead, tell her one. Okay, I said, getting down on the floor next to Miss Clute's ear. Do you know why the skeleton didn't go to the school dance? Why? Everyone asked. He had no body to go with. I said. We all looked at Miss Clute, and she just sat there, looking sad. Try another joke, AJ, said Neil. Okay, I said. Okay, ready? Do you know which football team travels with the most luggage? The Green Bay Packers. Get it? Luggage, Packers. And there they are telling Miss Clute these jokes. Miss Clute just sat there looking sad. She really is depressed, I said. Those are my best jokes. Do you know any dog jokes? Andrea asked. Maybe she needs jokes that she can relate to. Okay, I said. How are dogs and marine biologists alike? How? Everybody asked. One wags her tail and the other tags her well. Miss Clute just sat there looking sad. What kind of dog does Dracula have? I asked. What kind? Everybody asked. A bloodhound. And then Miss Clute just sat there looking sad again. What do you get if you cross a cocker spaniel, a poodle, and a rooster? I said. What? Everybody asked. A cocker-poodle-doo. Cocker-poodle-doo. Miss Clute just sat there looking sad. Those jokes are horrible, Arlo, Andrea said. I think you made her even more depressed than what she was. Well, if you're so smart, let me see you try to cheer her up, I told Andrea. Maybe she would like it if I danced for her, suggested Andrea. So I just started taking Irish step dancing classes after school. So Andrea takes classes in everything after school. And if they gave a class in nose picking, she would probably take that class so she would get better at it. So we all rolled our eyes as Andrea danced around Mr. Mackey's office. It was weird. And it didn't seem to have any effect on Miss Clute. She just sat there staring at Andrea. See, you can't cheer her up either, I said. Well, maybe she doesn't want to be a therapy dog, said Alexia. Did you ever think of that? Maybe she wants to be a seeing dog. Or a fire dog. That would be cool. Maybe she wishes she was a cat, I said. Poor Miss Clute, Ryan said, wrapping his arms around her. She's cooped up in here all day long. Dogs don't need to know how to read, write, or do math. They don't want to go to school. Maybe she just wants to go outside, I suggested. That's it, said Andrea, snapping her fingers. You're a genius. Ooh, Ryan said. Andrea called AJ a genius. They must be in love. When are you going to get married? Asked Michael. If those guys weren't my best friends, I would hate them. And that is the end of chapter 6. So they ended it with saying, maybe they need to take Miss Clute out to recess. Do you think that will help Miss Clute and have her maybe be happier and not so sad? So make sure you tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. I will be reading chapters 7 and 8. Okay, so don't forget, and make sure you're watching these videos in order, boys and girls. Monday, I read chapters 1 and 2. Tuesday, I read chapters 3 and 4. And today's Wednesday, I read chapters 5 and 6. Okay, so tomorrow I will be starting chapter 7. Thank you for listening. Ooh, my bookmark. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed today's Read Out Loud. Bye, boys and girls.